of Contralesa, representatives of the various leagues who are here with us, and the leaders and representatives of Umkhonto Wesizwe Liberation War veterans. Let me be clear. Yona Umkhonto Wesizwe yempela ke le. Umkhonto Wesizwe Liberation War veterans. Veterans and stalwarts of our movement, members of the diplomatic corps, leaders of the religious sector, traditional leaders, comrades and friends, and the people of our beloved country, South Africa.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I am your host, Kagiso Hlongwane, King 053, Mr. Easy Imali Enengi. And we're back at it again with another one. And I'm just doing a request from you guys. Some of you have typed, "Do it, King," where I asked you, do you want me to really break down the January 8th statement of our president, Cyril Ramaphosa? And it's quite interesting the direction that the ANC has taken with this January 8th statement. They've really taken a direction where it was their safest route. You understand? So with all the welcoming I just played, he did welcome all the party structures, all the alliance partners and everyone, and still pointing out and taking a jab for Umkhonto Wesizwe and saying, listen, the Umkhonto Wesizwe we have here is the real one. But we all know that that can't be true, because in 1993, Umkhonto Wesizwe was disbanded and weapons were put down, so to say. In fact, even the uniform of Umkhonto Wesizwe in 1993, it was decided that, listen, we are no longer going to wear this uniform. And Umkhonto Wesizwe is not going to be a militant arm of the ANC, but rather we will rather have an army of a country, the army, the National Defense Force of the country, instead of having Umkhonto Wesizwe. There's no need anymore for Umkhonto Wesizwe, basically. So he did those welcomings. We'll listen to him. But before I start on breaking down on the speech itself, let me go into the 6 people and the 6 people that have passed away on their way from Limpopo, and 18 people that then ended up into hospital as regard. Let's quickly watch this.
The bus was traveling on the R71 road when it lost control. This after it hit another bus on its rear end. 3 buses were in a convoy destined from Bombela. The 5 deceased are from branches in the Molemole municipality. The bus driver is amongst the injured. Some of the passengers in one of the buses are traumatized.
The driver that's lost brakes, so then control. Then he hit our bus at the back twice. Then
twice. What did you do when he hit the bus the first time? How can he hit the bus twice? No, man.
Then we continue with our trip.
So one bus hit another bus twice, and these people still continued with their trip. It was an okay moment for them.
Then after that other bus then hit the hill. I said then start to roll.
We are really traumatized by what happened today. It was so bad because we were going to celebrate an anniversary with ANC. But what happened is really so bad, and so we are all shocked.
The crash occurred in the early hours of the morning. The bus rolled down an embankment on the slopes of Magoba's Kloof Mountains, instantly killing 5 people. The ANC says it's saddened.
Now we are on the other side of celebration. We are mourning the deaths of our comrades. 5 comrades passed on in this accident. And it's a very, very, very sad day for the African National Congress, not only in this province, but throughout the country, because the whole country is gathering in Mpumalanga today, where all of us were when we had this sad news.
The road remains closed to traffic for several hours while the bus was being towed back up.
Yeah, it's a very heartbreaking moment for me as a Pan-Africanist to see my people get perishing on their way to a manifesto. And I know we don't choose the way we are going to go, but I think we can to a certain level agree that some people were traveling to Mbombela without even planning. They were traveling there because of the poverty level was pushing them to get on that bus. The fact that there will be a long distance trip traveling, the fact that there's going to be some food, the fact that there's going to be some uh, free T-shirts, going to Mbombela for the first time. I remember also on 2010, I was very sick throughout the 2 months of I was bedridden on the 2 months of the World Cup. I couldn't go to Mbombela. I'm from Mpumalanga. I've never been to Mbombela, and I remember buses were leaving every day going to Mbombela. And I remember the excitement of the kids in my street when the bus was standing at the corner of the streets and they were running because it was free and the government was giving out, the Department of Sports was giving out free tickets. So people had to fill the stadiums. The same thing we can argue is the same thing with these people that were in this bus. Not all of them are comrades. Not all of them are ANC members. Some of them are just members of the community that were excited to get this trip to go, and going in that fashion and dying in that fashion, dying for a reason that you can't name. What is it that you died for? For me, it breaks my heart. So our hearts goes out to their families and everyone. And I just wanted to spend just a second speaking about that. And let's keep their families in our prayers. Now, going into the speech itself, I got irritated taking notes of this speech because I wanted to break down the whole speech. I have the whole speech. In fact, I can upload it for some of you who are struggling to get the speech alone, the whole speech alone, so that you can listen. Some of you love listening and studying and analyzing things like myself, so I can do that for you. But I got agitated, irritated by my notes, the voice. I was like, Ish, this speech is almost 1 hour 20 minutes long. I'm taking notes and everything, so I'm just gonna give you guys, 3 or 4 clips that stood out for me. I got them actually, I think, from Newsroom Africa, but I did take notes on them. The first clip, let's listen to it and I'll break it down.
We are mindful that we meet in a complex and difficult moment, both globally and here at home. At a global level, the world is facing serious risks, multiple crises. These include rising inequality and poverty in many places in the world, the rising cost of living, the economic instability, as well as trade wars that are taking place, as well as the geopolitical conflicts that continue to destabilize various countries and the livelihoods of many. Given these many challenges, in 2044, we will focus, working together with the Alliance and all sectors of society to accelerate reconstruction of our economy, to deliver quality basic services, infrastructure, renew the ANC and society, we will also continue with our work to fight crime and corruption, to rejuvenate our nation and contribute towards a better Africa and a better world.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a difference between a January 8th statement speech. And this January 8th speech has been what we call a culture of the ANC. I would say from the 1970s, if my memory serves me right. And I think they've tried not to skip a year since then. It's been a regular thing that has been occurring. There's a difference between a speech. This January 8th speech is a speech that is supposed to tell us how the ANC has been doing since the last speech. You can't go back 29 speeches ago. The stance that the ANC has taken is the last 6 years of President Cyril Ramaphosa was not a good 6 years. But forget about that, ignore that, because the last 30 years has been a good 30 years in South Africa. That is what they were trying to do. He spoke about the complex, difficult, global and local environment, and yes, every country can speak about this. There is a complexity level where you need to apply your mind in solving and maneuvering yourself between the difficulties here locally and globally. Don't tell us there are difficulties. We already know there are difficulties, but how are you going to attack and sort these difficulties out? And how have you been sorting them out? Because remember, you have not been sworn in today. You are a president for 6 years. What have you been doing for these past 6 years? I'm happy with what the 30 years, or well, not the full 30 years, but I mean the 24 years, we are happy. We all want to know about your 6 years. That is what we are talking about. He says the rising cost of living. The rising cost of living since you came in. I think we South Africans have to analyze our political education, how we analyze things, how we internalize information, how we process information, and how we react to it. Because clearly what is going on here is people playing with our intellectual, challenging our intellectual minds. You are saying the living cost of living, the rising cost of living, it's a problem. Who made it a problem? What are you doing to solve this problem? Yeah, we're going to attack it. We're going to improve the rising cost of living. Really? What have you been doing for the past 7 years? He's speaking about trade wars and, this country working with that country. In speaking about trade wars, you're supposed to speak about the currency manipulation case that your government has failed. The competition commission has failed to execute. Now, 26 out of those, 24 of 26 out of those banks that were accused of this have been released because of lack of evidence from the competition commission. Excuse me. You are still speaking about working with the alliance. Which alliance? Because South is forever complaining about the ANC because they stand for the workers. The workers are complaining about their living wages left and right, their living conditions left and right. Who are you going to speak about? The Communist Party. Communist Party has already warned the ANC that they are going to have they're going to take a stance and stand on their own if the ANC does not listen to them. And the Communist Party has been saying this for years. We don't believe the Communist Party that they will, because the Communist Party without the ANC will die a slow death, a very painful, slow poison death. Working with the alliance. Which alliance? Delivery of reconstruction of the economy. Yes, This economy needs reconstruction because of you and your government, Mr. President. This economy needs reconstructions because of you. I'm starting to question ourselves intellectually as South Africans. And all the time this man is speaking, people are screaming, clapping hands, nodding, thinking that we are stupid, we don't know politics. But actually we are watching as South Africans. And we need to take a stance and really question this January 8th statement. That what impact does it bring? What impact does it bring? I'm going to speak about something else later on. It says delivery of quality basic service. Imagine your president who's been a president for 8 years and been part of the ANC for more than 40 years plus. You understand? 40 years plus. We don't know how many years this person has been at the ANC. 40 years plus is a safe number. He's coming there and saying we need to improve our quality delivering basic services. What have you been doing all along? I can't come as a father of a house and say I need to start feeding my family. My family will like, but that is what you're supposed to be doing. What have you been doing all this time? You understand what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? We must question these things, man. We must question these things. Every manifesto of every political party, where they are ruling, whether it's the EFF talking, we must go where they are ruling, where they are in power, where they've got influence, and analyze what is the EFF doing there, and analyze their manifesto and compare the two. Go to the DA. They say they are the best governing party. Go to Cape Town, because Cape Town is the only thing they can point out. Go to the location where colored and black people are staying and question, are you really closing the potholes there? Are you fixing the street lights there? Are you fighting crime there? You understand what I'm saying? We must question everything that these politicians are saying. And then lastly, he says we must renew the ANC. How can the ANC sing this song for how many years? By renewing the ANC, they're actually talking about kicking out other factions. If by renewing my family, it means I must kick out my brother, is it really renewing the family or is it breaking it down, ladies and gentlemen? Let's listen to him speaking about. I really was getting agitated when I was taking my notes and listening to this. But anyway, you guys asked for it, so let me do it. Let's listen to him when he speaks about the mistakes and other matters of the ANC.
The ANC has remained loyal to the pursuit of the National Democratic Revolution.
National Democratic Revolution. What on earth does that even mean?
And also advancing Africa's renaissance. There have been mistakes along the way, and there have been missteps, because in life, nothing is ever perfect. You make mistakes, you make missteps, you stumble, but that is the nature of life. The important thing is whether we are moving forward. And we as the African National Congress can testify to the fact that we have continued to move forward. We have continued to see improvement. The lives of our people have been improving since 1994. We have not been stuck in one place. We've always moved forward, maybe at times going one step back, but always moving forward by 3 steps. And that is how we have prosecuted our National Democratic Revolution. And because we are dealing with complex transformation processes, but all our programs and initiatives and actions, comrades, have been aimed at transforming South Africa to eradicate the stubborn legacy of apartheid, of colonialism, and yes, of patriarchy as well.
Yeah, you know what? No, it's difficult. To be in South Africa is difficult. To be a content creator is difficult because I have to like toe the line and try to be respectful when I'm talking, because this is our president. It's not the ANC president. It's the president of the country. He then admits that the ANC has made some mistakes. The ANC has made some mistakes. Uh, yes, we did move backwards, but we are taking some steps forward also. That's what he's saying. But those mistakes, are they costing us our lives or what? How long and what is the budget of closing pit holes, toilets at schools? How many more children must die crossing a river going to school? How many more children must drown in their waste because of the pit toilet broke from the foundation and the child fell in because the toilet seat could not hold the child up? A primary school child dying in a pit toilet. How many more of these mistakes must occur? How many more mistakes of them are employing a white man to run a state-owned entity like ESCOM under the radar, fucking us all up? How many more of these mistakes must happen? Can someone just go in the comment section and say 5 more years, no more years, 10 more years? What? How many more years? Must the ANC keep on telling us, okay, we have made mistakes, but we're going to improve on those mistakes? Because he then goes and says, because the lives of our people have improved since 1994. We're not debating that one. South Africa has been a better country since 1994 because obviously it was taken over from apartheid. How can it be worse than apartheid? Can someone explain to me? We will hear you about this 1994. We hear you. Tell us about your last 6 years as a president. Tell us about those years. That's the years we want to hear about. We want to hear about last year where there was no lockdowns. What improvements did you do? How did you improve tourism? How did you improve the agriculture sector? How far are you with giving us back the land? How did you improve water delivery? How did you improve electricity? The past 12 months, give us the story of the past 12 months. He says, no, there is a complex transformation process that is taking place. A complex. It's just another way of saying we still figuring this thing out. It's too complex for us. It's not easy and straightforward. And the reason is, really, are the ANC in government or are they in office? Are they in government or are they in office? He says we are still dealing with the legacy of apartheid and colonialism. English in Yenzan. Yeah, we are dealing with it because nobody wanted to take care of this apartheid legacy. Not Mandela, not Mbeki, not Zuma, not Cyril. Nobody. Why is it that the high modelcy schools are still teaching Afrikaans when Afrikaans people are less than 7% of the population? Why is it you can't force Tswana, Zulu, Xhosa, whatever into private schools? Why can't you make laws that force them into private schools? That this private school, beautiful, no problem, you can handle your administration and everything. But if you are in a Zulu area or a Zulu town or a Zulu whatever, you're going to teach Zulu. The people are going to have an option to learn Zulu, English and Zulu. Because we told you, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one army, and one Africa, one land. We are going to when all Africans will be learning in one language. We are not there yet, it's fine. But it's a dream that we must not keep quiet about. Because when we keep quiet, we'll relax on this English, limited English language and this limited Afrikaans language forever, as if we don't have African languages that are more advanced than these languages. It's difficult to even translate things from our languages to English. You find that English does not have a word to describe this. And that was the okay. Let's not get into religion. Let's not get into that debate. Let's listen to Cyril Ramaphosa speaking about the ANC being the choice, the party of choice to the people.
Now, comrades, with all this, as they are plotting and ganging against this people's movement that has brought so much transformation to the lives of our people, what then should be our tasks? The National Executive Committee has decided that the tasks announced in 2023 in the January 8th statement should remain the focus of our movement in 2024. Given that our country will hold the 7th national and provincial elections this year, our added overarching priority is to work for a decisive ANC election victory so that it may obtain a clear mandate. Comrades, we are working and going to work for a clear victory. When they look at us, but you know, iphelile ANC. When they look at us, but we are going to get less than 50%. Abanye bathi we are even going to get 30%. Logo kukhulunywa ngabantu abangasazi, abangayazi ANC. ANC kaLuthuli, ANC kaMandela, ANC kaJohn Langalibalele Dube, sithi wozani nizosithola kahle futhi siyanifuna ukuthi siye ekhethweni ukuthi we must be able to separate those who are able to govern this country and those who are not, because bona babona ngathi hayi kulula, they'll be able to govern this country. Oh mame, wozani nizosithola kahle. From the rise of Kwaito music in the early 90s, I could never dance to Kwaito, but today they are also excelling in Amapiano, and they are trying to teach me to dance to Amapiano. And this is what the young people of our country have really excelled in. And we thank them. We thank them because Amapiano today is the global music system of the whole globe. Uthole nabelungu e-Europe bedansela i-Amapiano. I'm going to teach the national chairperson to dance to Amapiano as well, as soon as I've learned it myself. So we thank them. Our artists have also excelled in a number of other areas.
Yeah, in all the clips that I'm going to analyze, I think this one can also be the last one. I think this is the clip that knocked my wind off when I was analyzing it. I was like, oh my God, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Because in this clip, he said the tasks that of the January 8th statement of 2023 is the tasks that we must focus on in 2024. Do you guys know what that means? Do you guys understand the analogy behind that? The tasks of 2023 January 8th statement is what we must focus on in 2024. Why? Because we did nothing about what we spoke about in 2023. 2023, this guy promised us we will deal with load shedding. He promised us. He promised. He says, listen, clinging to that criminal Andre the Rita, clinging to him. A person who came into ESCOM without any engineering experience, clinging there to say, no, white man is going to save us. Brian Molefe and them did not know what they are doing. This guy is going to save us. Clinging to him, failing to fire this man because he's the one, he is not the one that appointed that man. This man was appointed by Pravin and all the white monopoly capitalists. They appointed this man. Of all the CVs that came to in front of Cyril Ramaphosa, you are telling me Andre the Rita had the best resume? Come on. In 2023, they promised us that they're going to put the youth forward. They're going to create, I think, 1 million jobs. They're going to build 1 million RDPs. You remember that 1 million RDP housing story where Fikile Mbalula came out and said, we're going to build one in Soweto. You guys remember that? Or maybe Senkoshiwe. Huh? After that Andre the Rita fucked up ESCOM, South Africa went down like this. I'm talking about Transnet in the past six years, the term of Cyril Ramaphosa. I'm talking about PRASA. I'm talking about SAA. I'm talking about everything, man. In these past 6 years, price of everything doubled. Bread from 10 rand to 21, 22 rand. Some of us like Albany. So we pay for Albany. We pay. Even the cheap bread that was 5 rand at ShopRite is 8 rand, 9 rand, 10 rand. You ask yourself, but what is going on here? Price of petrol last 6 years doubled. More than doubled. Almost tripled. There was a time we were paying 27 rand something a liter. A liter of petrol. Some of us were driving machines. That was that was a punishment. That was a punishment. We almost sold our cars to buy small cars so that we can move around. He's saying the ANC is aiming for a decisive victory, meaning they are going for 50% plus. They are not even talking about maintaining their 57% that they got last time in the local elections. They're not talking about that. They are not confident about that. They are speaking about, no, we will get 50% plus. How funny is that? We are not saying we're going to get 55%. You're not saying we're going to get 54%. You're not saying we're going to we're going to maintain or improve on our 57% of last year, the last elections. Why are you not saying that? Because you know that the numbers have declined. So you are praying by all means the declining of those numbers don't amount to 7% plus. You understand what I'm saying to you guys? Africans, we need to wake up. He then, what made me stop analyzing this January 8th statement is when he said these people don't know the ANC of Lituli. They don't know the ANC of Nelson Mandela. They don't know the ANC of Langalibalele Dube. When he said that, it knocked my wind off. You are going to name presidents that are no longer alive. When you are alive, you can do something. And how dare you speak about Litulu and Dube, where they were leaders of the ANC in the struggle times. They never were leading through any democracy. How can you name those people? How dare you name the ANC of Mandela? How dare you? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You leave Thabo Mbeki alone. You leave Jacob Zuma alone. Why don't you name the guys that you worked with? So embarrassing. You have to go back to Litul, to Dube. You have to go way back. The people don't know that ANC does not exist anymore. That those ANCs don't exist. The ANCs that we know is yours and Zuma's ANCs. Honestly speaking, those times where Mbeki and Mandela was leading, man, that's not material findings for us South Africans that are living today, especially for my generation, those born in the 80s. We were happy that Mbeki was stabilizing the economy. With Mandela, we were just too young. We were in primary school. But most people, really, they started being involved and knowing politics with the Zuma term and the Mbeki term, the Mbeki, Zuma, and Cyril term. Mandela term, it was a, what do we call it in marriage terms, a honeymoon stage. We can't speak about Mandela. And Mandela saved one term, didn't we? Did Mandela save one term? We can't speak about Mandela. Can't. Leave that man alone. That man got us got us off the starting line. Leave that man alone. Did he do good for black people or what? No, leave Mandela alone. At least he got us off the starting lineup. And then Thabo Mbeki took the baton and did something with it. Jacob Zuma took the baton and did something with it. Those 9 years were never wasted. We all know that. You took the baton. 6 years. What did you do? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So he started speaking about I'm a piano, and I was like, fuck, shit, I'm stopping here. When he went and going, I'm a piano, so I was like, esh, yeah, no, siyangihlula manje. I might do a part 2 of this speech. You all you need to do is go on the comment section and type King do it, and I'll do it. But just know you are forcing me to do it. I'm no longer excited and happy about this January 8th statement. And really, if you had to ask the people that were climbing those buses and say, what was your takeaway from the January 8th statement? These people, they are blank in their minds. Blank. I loved the music. The food was nice. The entertainment was good. That's this generation. All this generation knows the 90s and the 80s is groove. Politically, too. No political agenda for these young people born in the 90s because the baton was not passed on properly. That's why we're going to build the first Pan-African school here in South Africa in the next 5 years. Let's lay the foundation, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to this channel because this is the platform that you're going to use as a form of contribution to educating the coming generation. This is the platform. I'm telling you, we're going to put in a team together that you will have confidence in, that these ones are going to educate my children politically, economically, agriculturally, financially, everything. And the country is going to be a better place because of that school. Not these schools that we adopted from England and America. These schools are not assisting us with anything. The curriculums are useless. Don't get me started. Thank you for watching. If you want part 2, you can type King, do it on the comment section. By forcing me to do it, I'll do it. It's fine. And until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, African child, stand up and do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute all of you.